Maritime, brought to you by Simmons. 9 p.m.
Hello there, good evening. I'm Otelli Edwards, and here are your top stories on News 5.
This creates an unnecessary risk of an accidental escalation.
Word of caution from the Transport Minister as one Malaysian ship remains in our waters. Koh Boon Wan says that efforts to de-escalate tensions are a good move.
I will contest that vote with everything I've got.
The British PM faces a no-confidence vote from within her own party as a Brexit deal hangs by a thread. Hundreds of French police are still hunting down the gunman responsible for a deadly attack at this Christmas market. And coming up later in the program, what's the response for on-demand bus services and how are drivers getting up to speed ahead of its trial next week? Details in a bit. Transport Minister Koh Boon Wan says that Malaysia's commitment to de-escalate tensions and recent steps to do so are a good move in the right direction. He added that Singapore is likewise looking for ways to find a peaceful solution to the current dispute. Meanwhile, he also urged Malaysia to withdraw its one remaining ship from Singapore's waters to prevent an accidental escalation. He called it a risk that would not be conducive to bilateral talks next month.
Malaysian vessels have intruded into Singapore waters since October this year. One ship still remains, while the others have been withdrawn.
This creates an unnecessary risk of an accidental escalation on the ground. That's why, once again, we strongly urge Malaysia to withdraw from our waters. These are big ships, a few thousand tons, and they move at great speed. You don't know what will happen. And then it may not be intended, but what if accidents happen? Then what?
The minister responded to a video put up by Malaysian Transport Minister Anthony Loke. Mr. Loke took issue with the height restrictions imposed as a result of the Instrument Landing System, or ILS, Seletar Airport will be using. He claimed that Pasir Gudang Port will be subject to higher risk and multiple restrictions as even a mobile crane would breach the height limit. But Mr. Koh pointed out some inaccuracies.
ILS, unlike a manual system, and so sometimes you may confront a crane, for example, and you become a safety risk. But that's not how ILS works. ILS is like autopilot an aircraft. It's a tool for the pilot. The pilot can always have manual intervention if security concerns require it. So like autopilot, it doesn't mean the pilot doesn't have control. The pilot retains full control throughout the flight. But the key point is, if it were a technical concern, with goodwill, I'm confident a mutually satisfactory technical solution can be found.
Meetings between Singapore and Malaysia are set to take place during the second week of January next year. Mr. Koh added that the meetings are currently being scheduled by the foreign affairs ministries of both countries. Both sides have previously said that they hope to work together for an amicable resolution of the issues.